this off.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, welcome back to Dudes Being Guys. Today, I'm talking about gun control, and I'm with my boys, being guys.
Just dudes being dudes.
Guys being dudes, dudes being guys, guys and dudes. Alright, let's get started, guys. Gun control. We're talking about, like, the media lies in it today. We got a projector up there where we'll be looking at this screen. I'll be cutting to y'all to look at it at the same time. Whew. So we're going to start off with a little video by CNN, where this guy is supposed to know a lot about AR-15s decides to talk about them and shoot one. So, let's look at this.
I remember this video.
You're not supposed to see the video.
So this is the M4 military rifle.
Right,
This is the AR-15.
right. A lot of people will buy this just because it's cool and they want to appear like soldiers. If you're a gun collector or a gun aficionado and you want an AR-15, you can certainly buy one and you should be able to buy one. The problem is when it gets in the hands of the wrong people.
Originally built for the battlefield, a defining characteristic of the AR-15
Oh
is
my,
the speed
what?
and power of the bullet.
What kind
That's
of
a good way to burn your finger.
Yeah, that is not.
Lieutenant Army General might.
Now those are single shots.
Okay, now watch
If I wanted to fire this on full semi-automatic, all I do is keep firing.
this.
Now, I will
That's
probably
full
hit the target.
semi-automatic.
Full
semi-automatic.
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 So
Oh
is
my
this-
goodness.
Is this like media bias? Like, cause this guy's clearly like.
I can't watch.
Is that fully semi-automatic? That's just semi-automatic.
He's just moving his finger more often.
I like that. I like it. I like that.
Oh. Who's got a potato?
There's no full semi-automatic.
Yeah, so basically, the reason I played that video is full semi-automatic. That makes it sound scary or something.
Full semi-automatic is a false terminology made by me.
It's
That's
just
like-
pull-
that's like
it's
me
just
saying,
pulling your
uh,
finger more.
Killing knife. Like, what?
What,
That doesn't
killing
make any
knife?
sense. No one says killing knife. It's
I
just
have
a
a full
knife.
semi-automatic knife.
Fully automatic is a trigger pull with a consistent, like, rounds going off at once. Semi-automatic is as fast as you can shoot it.
I didn't know what
You
he
have
was
to
going
pull
for.
the trigger.
Yeah.
You have to pull the trigger.
I didn't know what he was going for, like fully automatic or semi-automatic.
That's
He
why.
combined it too.
That's why bump stocks are considered semi-automatic
Because you still have to pull the trigger.
because you still have to pull the trigger. It just manipulates it differently.
Woo, we won't get into that though. So,
Oh, we're not getting into bump
what do you
stocks
think?
in today's episode?
do you think he said that on purpose?
He
added the
definitely
fully?
He
Dude,
definitely.
he was trying to make it sound as worse as
Also-
possible. Then he realized he was gonna say fully automatic. He was like, "Wait, no, that's a lie." And then came
Well, let
with
me
full
add it.
semi-
AR-15 also does not stand for assault rifle. Assault
That's a
rifle
good
is
point.
an action.
That's-
AR
that's
stands for
true.
Armalite. Fun fact.
Let's clear that up right away. Yeah, that's a good point.
I love shooting my assault rifle.
All right,
15.
so
I
let's
like,
go
I
ahead and
like, I
look
like,
at the banning of bump stocks.
I like my.
So this is CNN. They decided to put a picture of an AR-15 up there with a bump stock. Do you see anything else about it?
It's a grenade.
I like the grenade
It's an
launcher on the bottom.
M203 grenade launcher.
The fucking
silencer.
Wait,
Scope.
you can't like.
Okay, as
Grenade
a
launchers are like illegal now.
as a
right?
class
Yeah.
one
Yes.
as a
Yes.
class 1 civilian, you're not allowed to have an M203 grenade launcher.
You
Just
even-
saying.
Even with a Class 3 license, can you have a grenade launcher?
No.
You
You
Wait,
can't
you
even.
know what their class
and
three
with-
can
and with
have
a silencer-
Oh my god.
Let's look at all the attachments here. You have the bump stock. You have the grenade launcher.
That's not
you
even a
have,
bump stock.
That's not a bump stock.
Oh, it's not even a bump
It's
stock.
not a bump stock.
Then you have the grenade launcher, the silencer, and a scope.
Alright, let's move to a little serious now that we're laughing. Alright, so this is CNN again. We're not just gonna stick with them, but they just have the best examples.
Wait, so they put a picture, they put a visual up there, and it's not even a bump stock?
No.
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 The main point of this is to make the AR-15 look
Look
as scary as
as
possible.
possible.
So you put a grenade launcher on a gun that probably never even has a grenade launcher
A
on it.
giant looking scope.
Yeah, a giant looking scope.
A
Trying to make it as
suppressor.
intimidating as possible. But most people
Wait, what?
paint their AR-15s like camo or
I
something.
mean, I have an ACOG on my AR-15.
yeah, well, yeah, it's just a scope.
Yeah.
What's a scope gonna do?
I don't know, kill someone. You never know.
He's got
The
a full-
scope
he's got a
itself.
fully automatic.
Because the scope
Watch
itself.
that
though.
knife.
He's got
That
a
knife
full-
is gonna kill somebody.
That night, oh dude, that
Alright,
knife's
so
looking like it got
this is the
closer.
guide to the AR-15. Just give you all a heads up. So we have auto aim up there.
Is this CNN?
no.
No, I was gonna say.
This is a joke. This is what CNN wants you to believe. So there's auto aim with the scope. 'Cause that's so scary. Allows the gun to be concealed. The stock right there. You see, the pistol grip makes you shoot faster because that's
super high capacity mag.
Super high capacity mags. What an AR-15
Can
look
fire
like.
500 rounds a second.
Yeah. Also hold tank
So,
missiles.
so this is what most people think an AR-15 looks like, I guess.
A chainsaw bayonet.
Not a thing, by the way.
That's my
Not a
favorite
thing.
part. It's just
USA Today. Of course. Of course.
But is it illegal to have a chainsaw bayonet?
I don't.
I don't think so. No.
What's it gonna do?
Well,
I'm,
that shit.
I'm thinking
okay.
like
Excuse
Is
me.
that even
That's
a thing?
definitely from like Gears of War.
Yeah.
Like that does not exist. 100%.
I mean, like chainsaws are legal, so like I feel like that wouldn't mean anything. Like it would be straight.
What's scary is the chainsaw could probably do more damage than the gun. Think about it. A chainsaw can cut down a tree. Can a gun cut down a tree?
Oh, yeah,
yes,
Yes.
they can.
Yes, they can.
Pretty dope. Anyways, does anyone want to say anything? I think we're going to move on. Oh no, this is the best one. So this kid lied on Twitter. He goes, I was able to go buy an AR-15 in 5 minutes. I'm 20 and my ID is expired. And then like some CNN guy or like a bunch of news sources that like lean towards like gun control measures retweeted it. And at the end you'll see that he said after he walked me through the paperwork, all 5 pages of it, I told him I changed my mind. You don't need to present your ID until you're actually buying it and like do the paperwork. So the fact that this guy lied about it took 5 minutes to go buy an AR-15 is just the media spreading lies.
So you bought it.
So
That's what you see.
So I've purchased AR-15s a few times, and essentially you can if you're at the age of 18 in the state of South Carolina, go up and ask to hold one of the AR-15s. It has to be 16 inches or more. And essentially, that's assuming what the guy did was took a picture with it. And he
I think as
asked
he walked
for it.
up, he was like, "Can I just take a picture with it real quick?" Then he posted it on Twitter saying he bought it.
There's a lot that goes with gun registrations, whether it be filing an FFL, which is your unique serial number that goes with your AR or whatever firearm you have. So for my ARs, I have FFL linked to my name, my serial number, whatever it may be. I had to go through a background check. They checked my ID, my age. They did everything just to clear me and say that I'm able to purchase this firearm.
But what about gun show loopholes?
Gun show loopholes do not exist. Does not exist.
Wait,
Steven,
so by the same logic, could I go to the Air and Space Museum and stand next to like a fighter jet and be like, bought one of these bad boys today?
That's exactly what he did. And then
Like-
he's sitting there trying to say, "Oh, like gun show
Well, and
loopholes.
there's
Like
no-
there's so many loopholes. There's no loopholes with the
There's
person's
The
Like
gun
license."
is clearly not armed, so it's not like he's running around with
No,
like.
no.
It's technically an artifact at that point.
Artifact.
Well, I mean,
Trophy?
it's not live. It's not going to do
No.
anything. You don't
he
have
doesn't even
ammo,
own
you
it.
don't-
He doesn't
Exactly.
own it. He doesn't own it. And the sad part is he tricked probably like thousands of people because at least like almost 9,000 people
Look,
retweeted it.
I mean, you got almost 12,000 likes on that picture.
Yeah. So he
That's
tricked
like
that
half
many
for
people.
everyone that saw it, anyways.
Yeah. Well, with the retweets, that's the problem. People walking around like, "Do you see some kid bought
There-
an AR-15 when he was 20 with no ID?"
if you guys want to even dig deeper into that issue of like loopholes, Steven Crowder did a video of him going to these gun shows and trying to purchase guns illegally without asking for like verification ID,
know
any
what?
of that, and every single gun vendor, private salesman, like, and everyone at the gun show denied him of purchasing a firearm because he didn't have a valid ID.
I'm gonna link that and actually probably show a little bit. But he was walking around saying like, "Yeah, I just fill out anything right, and then y'all give me a gun."
Yeah.
No, they take it seriously because that's jail time. No matter how much money you offer them, they're not gonna do it because that's jail time. It's up to like 20 years in jail.
Yeah.
I saw something like that. Highly illegal. There's no such thing as the loophole. It's not like the only time like it's different is like if like a father's passing on his like gun to his son. That's like a different circumstance though.
That's a private. That's not even considered private sales. Actually, that's just handing it down.
But
You can't even regulate that either. So
all right, let's move on to the next one. Next one is Jimmy Kimmel. See if I can skip around on this. So basically, it's
I remember
after
this.
the Las Vegas shooting, and he decided to come out. Yeah, he was like talking about prayers and all, which was really nice. But then he started going into stuff where he was basically name calling and saying that like the senators that vote to support gun laws hate the people that died. And that was basically what he was saying. Like, he was leading that, like, these senators, you should not like them because they don't care about the people who just died because they voted against these, like, gun laws. But basically, like, I'll show a small clip of it, of, like, where he's going.
For those who lost their lives. You know, in February, he also signed a bill that made it easier for people with severe mental illness to buy.
That's what he's talking about Donald Trump, but...
Senate Majority
allowing mentally ill people to get a gun easier, but there's due process.
See,
You had to prove
like,
that someone's
they
mentally ill.
They should do like, they should have to cite their sources on this, because they take it out of context, and like, no one wants to give mentally unstable people guns.
Well, no. Here's the thing. What that argument is, Trump said like due process. Everyone's right to it. Like you have to prove that this person's mentally ill and like incapable of like owning a firearm safely.
Yeah.
So like you have to go through like court for that. I'm pretty sure. And Trump basically like said that like a judge has to declare you mentally unstable. So
Like it can't
which
just be a
is which is
therapist who
yeah.
goes like, hey, like he's seen me for appointments, don't give him a gun.
Yeah,
And
it's
this
like a judge has to, which
this-
is the only fair way in the world, I guess, because I can deem anybody mentally unfit to own a gun myself, but a judge is the one that has the power. The judge is the one that rules off of like the Constitution and all, which
And
makes sense.
This is a big problem. I know in the state of South Carolina, you can't purchase a gun if you have any mental problems, or if you're also a felon. And we can talk about the Parkland shooting, Nicholas Cruz, and how these mental institutions deemed him as normal, and he bought a gun legally because in the database or whatever, his name was under his background check. He was not on the list for mentally unstable, and they deemed him as stable, and that's how he was able to purchase that firearm legally. So that argument that I constantly hear is like, oh well, like how do you stop someone who bought a gun legally, which was Nicholas Cruz? Well, I essentially believe it was the mental institution's fault.
So
That's
basically,
why he got it.
We don't need more gun regulations.
We need
Mm-hmm.
more mental regulations.
Well, not
regulations,
like
just
more.
Up to institutions.
Yeah.
The quality of the service, quality of the practice, whatever it may be. Because psychological effects on the person.
So he just said he wants God to forgive these people that were fighting for our Second Amendment right, which is just really messed up of Jimmy Kimmel to say. And it shows he has an agenda where he just said like they should be praying for God's forgiveness when these people like are actually sending out their
And
prayers.
he also just said that the NRA has their balls
on a money clip.
On a money clip, yeah. I
think-
hope you
the
have
thing
that
about,
chart next.
Yeah, I do got that chart.
The thing about that is like, just because someone disagrees with how guns should be handled doesn't mean people want to be killed. Like that's the problem with the media spinning it, saying like Republicans don't.
Well,
give a crap.
and they say like it's always worst case scenario. It's like, oh, they're hoping for people to get hurt. Nobody hopes for somebody else to get hurt.
Something that really, really pisses me off is how people really love to blame the NRA for a lot of the mass shootings that happen. There's over 3 million members, including myself.
5, I think.
5 million, actually. I'm sorry, 5 million, including myself. And if you literally go on Google and search up a mass shooting that was perpetrated by an NRA member of 5 million, you will not find one. I promise you, you can look it up. You will not find
a lot
one.
of NRA members want to do it the right way.
Yeah,
They
we
do it
want to
legally.
do it the right way.
Yeah.
And there's...
It's the people, honestly, it's not even the legal guns you have to worry about. It's the
No, it's
black
not.
market guns.
It's illegal. Yeah, well, most illegal guns in the United States are like stolen. I'm pretty. It's like most ones are used in the crime are like stolen from someone else.
Stolen
stolen
from
guns.
homes.
Yeah.
There's
But like you could have the tightest restrictions in the world. I mean,
People
there's still
still
going to
get
be
guns.
there's still going to be black market
You
guns.
can't-
I mean, heck, look at drugs. Like, I mean, you make drugs illegal. Like, you have all these major drugs going.
It doesn't even
rampant
matter.
around
There's
the
still
country.
still a very large amount of black market gun sales already. When
Yeah.
there's a good amount of legal guns. Like
Yeah.
I mean,
there's
you
still
can
a huge market for illegal guns.
you
That's
can-
not just going to disappear.
ban guns because that's what the media is like wants. Like, and an AR-15 is just a loophole to ban all guns together, but that's like a different day like topic. But if you ban guns in general, what's worse? Like, gun-free zones are the worst spots to be in.
Well, think about it. If you ban guns, the only people without guns then are the good guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the good guys aren't going to go out and buy illegal weapons. The bad guys are regardless. So, I mean, if you ban guns, then the only ones without guns are the people who could stop major
You
shootings.
think about in the U.S., like, if someone, like, even, let's say they have a mental health problem, or let's say they're just an evil person that wants to go kill someone, they'll find a way to get something, maybe their car or, like, explosives or something like that, to kill people. The only thing that's going to stop someone coming at you looking to kill you is another gun.
Yeah.
Is a good guy with a gun. What beats a bad guy with a gun? A good guy with a gun. That's the only thing that will ever stop it. So this statistic about the NRA, because Jimmy Kimmel's probably the smartest guy ever, right? He's a genius. This is like the top 15 lobbying. Like that's basically like how much money you throw into lobbying, like senators, like the people in the House of Representatives. Like how much money you like put into like talking to them, like trying to get like sway them to your opinion. The NRA is not even like the top 12. The NRA does not spend money on these politicians. It has one of the biggest groups, 5 million people strong. That's what the politicians listen to, is all these responsible gun owners wanting to keep their guns. Not the fact that these politicians are getting paid and they don't have any balls in their money clip, whatever Jimmy Kimmel said.
That's crazy. The people that are on that list.
Yeah.
And none of them are anything like National Association of Broadcasters.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's just weird.
I mean, number one is the freaking U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Like,
If you think about the AARP makes sense though.
yeah. Well, I mean, they're all lobbying for something, and I mean, you can clearly
Yeah,
tell.
what-
Usually,
The NRA spent $5 million in 2018
on
compared-
lobbying.
$5
compared
million
to everyone on
bro.
that list.
$5 million compared to the
So
the
that's
$1
what
billion
$1
dollars by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce.
Well, that one's kind of.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. But the how about
Look at the AARP. Like,
yeah, the AARP. Gosh, AT&T Inc. I haven't seen that one. Verizon Communications. That's dope. All right.
Boeing?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, because they want to.
They want all the government.
Did you hear about that
contracts.
Airbus thing? They lobbied because they wanted tariffs on Airbus, but that's completely unrelated.
Anyways, like I'm saying, a lot of lies in media. Let's move on to the Second Amendment. Great amendment. The Founding Fathers meant what they said, but a lot of media likes to say that muskets and all. Let me go ahead and move to the next paper. That these two things are completely different and all. Even though muskets were used during the military times of the Constitution and was all made, muskets were the military grade weapon. So you can't say that like back then they weren't using military grade weapons because you were given a musket to keep at home, and that was what the military used. I guess like to comment.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
I mean, I
Okay.
get that, but like
They
kind of
actually did have
counterpoint
fully
here.
automatic guns when they wrote the amendment too, like Gatling guns.
Yeah, they
were
had
a
the
thing.
what's it called?
Gatling gun.
Okay.
Pinlock gun, something like that.
When-
the Gatling gun too, but there was this gun called the I'll throw a picture up of it. It was like some type of air rifle that had like a 20 or 30 round mag.
Oh, sorry, it was called a puckle gun.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the Poco gun. It also had the. There was one more gun that was in like contention that could shoot like 18 rounds in 20 seconds.
Okay.
It's like the Founding Fathers knew that guns would advance because everything advances through time. They weren't idiots. Let's give them credit.
That's why the Second Amendment didn't have any limiting words placed in it, because the Founding Fathers knew with all these guns emerging, ideas were to go further in time. So lever guns, Gatling guns, they were all emerging at that time, and they knew that in the future we were going to have guns like the AR-15, and maybe even in the more future we'll have something more advanced than an AR-15.
The AR-15 isn't even like a military grade gun.
It isn't. It isn't.
It's not even
It
close.
actually isn't. AR-15
It's
is a civilian rifle.
It's not fully automatic.
It's not a M4.
It's not M4. It's meant for civilians. It's not used in the
civilian
military.
use. There's videos of the AR-15 being compared to an M4, which is a
Nothing
military spec AR. With an AR-15, I can safely say that if you put 60 rounds through it, it's going to overheat a little bit. You're going to feel it in your hands, on the bore, on the chamber, on the bolt. But if you put 60 rounds through a military spec M4, flawless. Like, those are meant for war.
What if you put a 60 rounds through a musket? That thing might blow up.
Alright, so let's compare things though, because the Founding Fathers were so stupid and they didn't know like that technology would advance. So throw up this picture real quick.
Should throw up that Thomas Jefferson quote too.
So if you think the Second Amendment only applies to muskets, this is the healthcare you have the right to. So since
That's true.
the founding fathers didn't know that guns would advance, they didn't know that medicine would advance either. That's the same
A
argument.
lot of stuff that's advanced today that, I mean, they would have never even imagined back then.
That's a good point. I'm probably gonna cut that out.
I mean, we have robots doing surgery now.
We have robots doing surgery.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I don't know that. That's dope. But anyways, this is basically just saying things advance, life advances. The founding fathers saw an advancement. They're over there in the New World fighting for independence as an advancement. They didn't even know that was a thing, but like 300 years earlier. Columbus sailed the blue in 1492. Yeah, about 300 years earlier.
The fact that you actually had to say that is common.
Woo!
You better
Anyway,
leave that in the video.
I'm gonna leave it in the video because I don't care. Yeah, and then we're gonna move forward to this. So TVs weren't a thing during the founding fathers' time. Freedom of press, freedom of speech. Basically, they should be protected on TVs then, should they? Because they weren't around during the founding fathers. That's the same argument. So you cannot use the argument that they didn't intend it for AR-15s. Because then you use the same argument that we shouldn't be using the same medicine now because founding fathers didn't think that would come up. That we can't use TVs now for news because they weren't around during the founding fathers' time. So all these people right here are idiots, basically, is what you're saying. If you say that they didn't know that guns would advance, that's what you're saying. All right, let's move forward in this. So, biggest thing AR-15s are for is actually hunting, self-defense and hunting. Those biggest things any guns are for in general. Self-defense.
And honestly, I wouldn't even argue the self-defense because like it's not an easy concealed weapon. I mean, it is, but like you're not gonna like.
Here's
get
the
up in
thing,
middle of the night and
Self-defense is a God-given right.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. But like,
That's a right
you
to
don't
life.
just- But like, if you're caught in a sticky situation, you're more likely to pull out a smaller gun than an AR-15.
Well,
But
no, this is
It
like
no, it depends on the mission. You know?
yeah.
I have a friend that has a BOGO kit in his car. He has a 2-piece AR-15 lower receiver, upper receiver. He has it on he has it apart so the receiver is not together, concealed in his car just in case some things go down, and he has time to put it on.
That's the point. You see, I'd rather run in with an AR-15 or like 4 guys breaking into my house. I'd rather pull an AR-15 out from under my bed than like a 45 or a 9mm out of my drawer, because the point of defense is to kill who wants to kill you or hurt you. That's the main gist of it. If a guy's running at me, like much bigger than me, let's say he might even be hopped up on drugs, I'm gonna shoot and I'm gonna put him down. And like that's the point of guns.
Why should we be relegated to the lowest form of weaponry to defend our lives from the people who will not be abiding by those same standards?
which goes
Beautiful
back
quote.
to why would we ban all the guns when it just takes them out of the hands of good people?
Fun fact too: handguns are
Semi-automatic.
no, not even that semi-automatic.
They are.
They
Fully
kill.
semi-automatic.
Handguns are actually the leading weapon for mass shootings. You can look it up in the FBI statistics. They kill way more people than in any rifle. Just look it up.
Here,
Look it up.
Let me throw this FBI database up real quick. I mean, also that's really fit.
27 minutes. You do realize that?
Yeah, we'll keep talking. It'll be okay.
How long is it supposed to be?
It's okay. We're almost done.
That's wrong.
So this is what I want y'all to look at real quick. You can look at my screen. So total firearms, handguns caused like 7,000 deaths in 2017. Rifles 403. Let's compare that to something else that killed people, like knives or cutting instruments. About 1,600 people died from them. Blunt objects 467. That's 64 more than rifles as a whole. That's not even AR-15s. That's rifle as a whole. And then hands, fists, feet killed
More people than
696. Not guns, rifles.
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 Well, I mean, more than
So if you want to say that the AR-15 is a deadly weapon, that's
these are deadly weapons.
yeah. These are deadly weapons. So
An
you
assault
can't-
knife.
An assault knife is a deadly weapon.
You could have an assault cup.
Yeah,
Like-
I can say assault anything.
Assault is an action.
It's not a gun.
All right, onward.
All right, onward and upward. We have a couple more. All right, so back to the Hogs thing, guys. Let's watch a little video. It's just about 10 seconds long. This one's on CNN, which is very surprising because this guy defends an AR-15. So I think they had to leave it in, even though the reporter was obviously looking for him to go like, well, AR-15 should only be used here and then. That's what he's basically asking.
You know, we say AR-15 and 30
I think he said that very well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tool just like any other tool
And
that you can choose for good or bad.
It's
And-
like what I wrote about in my essay. A car can kill people. A knife can kill people. A gun can kill people. Your hands can kill people. Anything can basically kill people based on how you use it.
yeah.
I'm never gonna go out and intentionally try to hurt someone. A lot of people aren't gonna go out and intentionally try to hurt someone. But there are evil people in the world.
We as people cannot control criminal element, and to believe that the government can is foolish arrogance. People will continue to find ways of doing evil intentions in this world, and you can keep banning these guns, but essentially with these bans, you cannot ban your way to utopia. You can't. You can try, but then that's just going to cause more issues in society. More killings. Look at the buyback system in Australia in 1996. They confiscated like I think over like 650,000 guns out of public circulation, and in turn actually raised the death rate. You can look up the numbers. Essentially, if you're looking at different societies here and how they've tried to place some sort of law or some sort of regulation. That's a really good example. Australia is one.
Well, and then, like, think about if you're in a situation, like, this obviously isn't good, but imagine if you're a bad guy and you're some sick-minded killer. Like, where are you going to go? The place where you're going to face a ton of opposition, like armed opposition, where you're going to be dead in the first 10 seconds? Or are you going to go where you have a bunch of soft targets that are unarmed?
That's
That's
exactly.
Over 2/3 of mass shootings happen in gun-free zones.
Yeah,
Exactly.
gun-free zones, yeah. And also, the politicians that are like pushing for gun control, and this is what I wrote in my paper. I said the people are
I gotta quote you.
the politicians who are pushing for gun control are the ones who are completely disassociated from the regular lives of the common people. They run around with armed guards 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They do not care about safety, they care about control. Do not mistake these words for true altruism. It is not, it is self-serving. The idea is that they want to be in control and in power, never feel threatened by the common man, and when the common man has the ability to effectively and adequately protect themselves, that is a problem for them.
Yeah.
Just look at all the politicians. Like, honestly, look at all the politicians they've never been in situations, and I don't know if this goes for you guys, but for me, like, I've had issues where I had my concealed in my car where I had to pull it out for my own safety. I've had times in my life where I thought my life wasn't threatened and I had to have my gun out.
Well, and like 99% of the time, just the visual of a gun is enough to deter crime.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, a lot of times responsible gun owners don't intend to use their weapon. They don't want to.
Well, yeah, they don't want to. No,
I mean,
no one wants to take
when
another person's
yeah,
life.
yeah.
But if it comes down to it, if I'm gonna shoot, I'm gonna shoot to kill.
Yeah.
That's like a big argument with police shooting people is like, why don't you just shoot them in the leg or something? Do you know how hard it is to shoot someone in the leg?
A moving target.
Yeah, a moving target
that's
leg.
resisting.
When you shoot them in the chest, like the biggest part of like the human anatomy.
And most people can't even shoot a still target. When you're put in a situation where one, your adrenaline's pumping through, you're not very focused, you're kind of angsty about it. It's very hard to hit a moving target, especially if it's the legs. Tasers too. Tasers don't work, especially when you're trying to take someone down that has a lot of clothes on, because the only way that someone's gonna get tased if those needles are able to puncture through clothes, have skin contact. That's how it works. Nice.
All right. Well, that was a good podcast, boys and men. What was the name of it? Men's boys just being men.
No, I think that was it.
No, it was
Guys, dudes being guys.
Guys being dudes.
Guys being dudes. We
Occasionally.
appreciate you joining us today.
Dogs
Hopefully
being
we change
dogs.
your life. What? Okay. Hopefully we change your life.